Ever been swept away by someone speaking a different language? Maybe with such ease, such confidence,
Mm.
that you feel this real pull, a desire to experience that yourself.
Yeah, it's that pull, isn't it? That fundamental desire to connect beyond our own language.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into that feeling, that ambition. We've got this fascinating source material here. Learn to speak English easily and fluently.
Right. But it's not just another how-to guide, is it?
Not at all. It's actually a captivating story of Emma, someone, well, pretty much like many of us, with this big goal: speak English fluently.
And have that fluency become like a real part of her life.
Mm-hmm.
What's so compelling, I think, about Emma's story is how it really taps into that drive to communicate.
Yeah.
And her journey, it's just packed with these little aha moments,
Oh.
those insights that maybe traditional learning kind of overlooks.
Right. So our aim today isn't about grammar rules or anything like that.
No, definitely not. We want to really dig into the core things that fueled Emma's success. Her mindset shifts, the role community played,
Right.
stuff like that.
Think of it like we're extracting the essential DNA of effective language learning, but from a very human story.
Exactly. We're going to explore her progress step by step.
And pull out those valuable insights that hopefully can inspire anyone listening who's on their own language journey.
And do it in a way that feels, engaging, not overwhelming.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. Chapter 1. The dream begins. It kicks off with Emma watching a video, right? Someone speaking English really confidently.
Yes, that initial spark. And that moment, seemingly small, it's actually a huge catalyst.
How so?
Well, it highlights the power of visualization, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seeing someone fluent helps her imagine herself being fluent.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
And it's important to remember her background, too. She'd already tried the usual stuff, textbooks, grammar exercises.
Right, the traditional methods.
And she felt stuck, which, resonates with so many learners. They get the theory, maybe, but can't actually speak comfortably.
Yeah, that gap is so frustrating, and it really hits your motivation.
Absolutely. You lose confidence.
So she reaches this point. The knowledge is kind of there, but it just won't come out when she tries to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But then she makes a really key decision to try something different.
A new strategy. Focusing on experiencing the language, living it.
Right.
Like an adventure, not just memorizing rules.
And her first steps are so accessible, like changing her phone's language settings to English.
Yeah, which sounds minor, but it's actually a really effective technique. We call it passive immersion.
Passive immersion, okay.
By changing her phone, she creates this constant low-stakes exposure in her everyday life.
Right, it's just there.
Exactly. And that initial confusion she feels, totally natural. But then her brain adapts pretty quickly because the exposure is consistent.
It builds familiarity just through using her phone normally.
Precisely. In
Yeah.
everyday contexts.
Then she picks up a beginner's English storybook. And her approach here seems important too.
How she does it, you mean?
Yeah, reading slowly, guessing meanings from pictures, context, noting down new words.
Uh-huh. And reading sentences aloud repeatedly.
Right. It's not just about racing through it.
Exactly. Reading aloud engages her hearing, helps internalize the rhythm, the intonation of English, and repeating sentences builds that muscle memory for pronunciation. Guessing from context. That's a fantastic way to build vocabulary, too. Much stronger connections than just memorizing lists.
Makes the learning more active, more
Right.
memorable.
Totally. More dynamic.
Right. And then comes, like, her first real-world test. A lost tourist in the park.
Asking for directions to the train station. Talk about pressure for a beginner.
Right. You can just imagine the nervousness, but she does it. A simple exchange.
And that simple exchange,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually a massive step forward.
Really? How so?
It gives her immediate real-world feedback, validation,
Ah, okay.
and the tourist compliment, "Your English is very good." Wow. That's powerful external motivation.
Boosts her confidence right up, makes the challenge feel less impossible.
Crucial. That positive reinforcement is absolutely crucial for keeping motivation high.
So that good experience encourages her to try more fun ways to learn.
Exactly. Watching English cartoons, kids shows.
Talking to herself in English, I like that one.
Me too. And even naming her plants. Daisy, Sunny, Mr. Green.
Huh. That turns learning into like a playful thing, integrates it into her life.
It does. Cartoons have simpler language, visual context. Talking to yourself, remove the pressure of judgment.
Right, no one's listening.
You can experiment freely. Naming things builds associations, helps vocabulary recall.
And she kept a notebook, didn't she? Funny phrases, small wins, with a star reward system.
Yes, that's brilliant. It makes progress tangible, celebrates those small victories that really add up.
It personalizes the whole process, makes it more engaging.
Definitely. These aren't big formal study sessions. They're small, consistent, enjoyable interactions with English.
Then the social side comes in. She joins a free online group for English learners.
Which is another big step.
But she's hesitant at first, right? That fear of speaking in front of others.
Oh, absolutely. It's so common. That fear of making mistakes, of being judged.
But eventually she does introduce herself. Hi, my name is Emma.
Another brave moment. And that online community provides something vital.
What's that?
A supportive, non-judgmental space.
Mm.
Peer learning. People feel safer taking risks, making mistakes when they're with others on the same journey.
Because everyone understands the struggle.
Exactly. Shared goals, mutual encouragement, it fosters belonging, makes it less isolating, and it lowers that affective filter.
The anxiety that blocks learning.
Precisely. Community is powerful.
And the chapter wraps up with her journal entries, reflecting on her learning, her confidence growing.
And that key realization, bravery is essential for fluency.
It's not about perfection right away. It's about having the guts to just try.
Mm-hmm. Even when you're unsure. Okay, let's move into chapter 2. Mistakes, motivation, and a microphone.
Right. So now Emma faces her first online speaking challenge, a 2-minute talk.
About baking cookies, the stakes are definitely higher now.
Yeah, moving from just chatting to a prepared talk.
This chapter really gets into the emotional side of learning.
Yeah.
Especially that fear of making mistakes in a more public way.
Her preparation shows she's taking it seriously, but you can feel her nervousness.
Totally. That vulnerability of expressing yourself in a language that isn't your first.
Yeah.
Especially when you know you might mess up.
And that moment of doubt she has right before speaking. That internal battle. We've all been there, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. But then she remembers that quote.
Mistakes mean you're trying. Mistakes mean you're growing. Powerful stuff.
It's a fundamental mindset shift, isn't it? Seeing mistakes not as failures, but as necessary steps.
Yeah. That reframing is crucial for staying motivated.
It allows you to take risks, experiment, push your boundaries. That's where the real growth happens.
So she gives her talk about baking cookies, mentions her initial bad attempts in practice.
Describes her favorite chocolate chip ones.
And the group's reaction is just warm. Smiles, nods, applause.
That positive feedback loop, it's critical.
It validates her courage for putting herself out there.
Exactly. And encourages her to keep speaking. It also sets a standard in the group. Vulnerability is okay. Effort is celebrated. Not just perfection.
Creates a much better learning atmosphere.
Definitely.
And then she gets that lovely message from Leela in Brazil.
Right. Inspiring her to try speaking. which leads to Emma's new motto.
Let's make mistakes together and learn. I love that.
It captures that collaborative spirit perfectly, reduces the pressure, builds camaraderie, makes the journey less lonely, more fun.
We also see her developing new practice techniques, like these talking walks.
Yeah, describing everything she sees in English.
Another great way to weave practice into daily life. Make it active.
It's fantastic for spontaneous language practice, building vocabulary in a real-world context. Actively describing things strengthens the links between words and what they represent, much better than just passive study.
And then she starts using the shadowing technique.
Yes. With short videos, subtitles, focusing on the speaker's voice, tone, rhythm.
Seems a bit more advanced, aimed at fluency and sounding more natural.
It is. Shadowing is powerful for pronunciation, intonation, flow. It taps into your mirror neurons.
Mirror neurons.
Yeah, they help you unconsciously mimic sounds and patterns.
Right.
By trying to sync her speech with the video, she's training her ear and her voice to reproduce those nuances of English.
Leading to smoother, more natural speech with feeling.
Exactly.
And all this practice leads up to a big challenge. A school project. A presentation in English.
About Malala Yousafzai. And her initial reaction is panic.
Totally understandable. But crucially, she draws confidence from her online group experience.
Which shows how confidence gained in one maybe safer space can transfer to scarier situations.
That transferability is key. Success in the online group empowers her for this bigger, more formal challenge at school.
Right.
And the presentation itself, her voice starts shaky.
But grows stronger. And she gets positive feedback from her teacher, her friends.
Another big confidence boost. Real-world proof of her progress.
And the chapter ends with her journal entry, feeling proud of her mistakes, her progress, and determined to speak more.
It really drives home that idea, embracing the journey, flaws and all.
Precisely. The focus isn't avoiding mistakes anymore, it's valuing them as part of learning, developing that growth mindset. Okay, let's get into chapter 3. English Everywhere, turning life into a language lab.
So by now, Emma's English is noticeably better. She's even starting to help other learners.
Which is a fantastic sign of her own progress and understanding. That shift from student to helper.
Really inspiring. And then she decides to do this Live in English Week challenge.
Yes. And the first rule, think every single thought in English.
Wow, that sounds intense. Is that kind of internal monologue really effective?
It's incredibly powerful. It forces constant cognitive engagement with English, makes it part of her inner world.
Even simple thoughts like, time for breakfast.
Exactly. They become tiny moments of silent practice.
Yeah.
Reinforcing words, structures. It feels weird at first, probably, but it builds automaticity, helps fluency significantly over time.
And she takes this immersion outside, too. Supermarket trips, reading labels in English,
Mentally translating conversations she overhears.
actively engaging with the English around her, even when not speaking.
Right. It turns passive exposure into active learning. Processing the English in her environment packaging, overheard chat, constantly reinforces vocabulary, grammar, comprehension in real contexts. The environment becomes the textbook.
One of the most charming bits, though, is her talking to things around the house.
Good morning, kettle. Please boil quickly.
Her family must have thought she was a bit nuts.
Maybe, but it serves important purposes. First, zero pressure. No fear of judgment. Allows for free practice, experimentation. Second, it makes the language more personal, less intimidating. Associates English with everyday stuff, makes it more familiar, comfortable.
And then the sticky notes. English words plastered everywhere.
And her little brother joins in.
That's lovely. Shows how enthusiasm can be contagious in a family. How does that visual reinforcement help?
Sticky notes aid memory. Visual associations. Seeing the words repeatedly in context solidifies meaning and recall. And her brother joining in. That just makes the whole home a richer language environment. More supportive, more fun.
She keeps up her talking walks, too, but now she's describing things out loud, like a reporter.
Taking that internal monologue external.
Yeah.
Yeah. Further develops spontaneous speech, builds confidence using English in public. The reporter idea makes it fun, encourages description, active thinking in English, bridges the gap between thinking and speaking.
And then another real-world success. Helping a lost tourist couple find the art gallery.
Another confidence boost. These real-world wins seem crucial for her motivation.
Why is that real-world proof so important?
Because it provides tangible evidence of progress. It shows the practical value of her skills. When she can actually use English to help someone, it reinforces that her hard work is paying off.
Makes it feel real, not just academic.
Exactly. It fuels the desire for more opportunities to use it, building more confidence, more fluency. Shifts English from an abstract idea to a real tool for connection.
The chapter ends with her journal. English is not just a language, it's part of my life now. Shows how deep that integration has become.
As part of her identity now, her daily reality.
And then she moves on to watching videos without subtitles, focusing on repetition, lip movements, voice changes.
Which brings in the concept of intonation.
How crucial is getting that intonation right for sounding natural?
Oh, hugely important. She's moving beyond just literal meaning now, grasping the nuances, the emotion conveyed through the melody of speech. Watching lips, voice changes helps her understand and produce more natural-sounding English herself.
That musicality carries a lot of meaning.
A huge amount. Getting intonation right makes a massive difference in how you're understood and perceived.
And she starts playing with tone, singing English words, making silly voices.
Yeah, making it more embodied, less purely intellectual.
Which seems like a really effective way to learn.
It is. Play reduces inhibitions, fosters a deeper intuitive feel for the sounds, rhythms. Singing silly voices. They improve pronunciation muscle memory in a fun, low-pressure way. Makes it stick better.
Then there's the video diary, those 1-minute recordings before bed.
Tracking her own progress. From quiet and slow to more confident and relaxed on camera.
What's the benefit of recording yourself like that?
It's great for self-assessment. Seeing yourself objectively over time lets you spot improvements, pronunciation, fluency, confidence. It's also incredibly motivating to see tangible evidence of your development, personal feedback.
And all this effort leads to her teacher inviting her to the school's English storytelling contest.
A real culmination of her work, a chance to show how far she's come by truly living the language.
Okay, chapter 4. The storytelling stage, Emma's big English moment. You can just feel the buzz in the school auditorium.
Definitely. And the pressure is much higher now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Family, friends, teachers watching.
Performing in a second language in front of an audience like that?
Yeah.
What's the psychological impact?
It can trigger significant anxiety. Fear of judgment, fear of messing up publicly. Overcoming that is a major hurdle in building fluency and confidence.
You see her nervousness, clutching her notepad, but then she whispers to herself.
It's just a story. And I love stories.
Such a powerful reframing technique, right? Shifting focus from the anxiety about English to her passion for storytelling.
Exactly. That kind of cognitive reappraisal is very effective for managing performance anxiety. Focusing on the intrinsic motivation, her love of stories, reduces the fear, connects her to her passion, and can actually improve her performance, makes it less of a test, more of a sharing opportunity.
The contest theme is a lesson I learned, and she decides to tell her own story, her English learning journey.
Which is incredibly brave and authentic, Why is telling a personal story often so effective?
Well, it comes from a place of real experience, real emotion. That authenticity resonates powerfully with an audience. She knows the material inside out, her passion shines through, even if the English isn't perfect, creates a stronger connection.
It makes sense.
Her walk to the stage, the initial nerves, then focusing on the microphone, connecting it mentally to her online group.
Using that past positive experience, that supportive community, as an anchor.
Yeah, drawing strength from it to face this new challenge. Smart way to manage the anxiety.
The microphone becomes a link to that safe space. It grounds her, brings familiarity into this intimidating situation.
And the start of her story is so honest, acknowledging her past fears, feeling unintelligent, worrying about her accent, terrified of mistakes.
That vulnerability is so effective, it makes her instantly relatable. Many in the audience have likely felt the same way. It builds trust, empathy.
And then she shares her strategy. Start small, one word, one sentence. Embrace mistakes as part of the process.
That's her core philosophy coming through. It emphasizes manageable steps, accepting imperfection, demystifies fluency, makes it seem achievable through persistence, not sudden perfection.
She talks about her practice methods too, the mirror, the dog, the walks, videos, the groups.
Making her journey concrete, offering practical ideas for others, shows it wasn't just talent, but consistent effort and smart strategies. Gives people a roadmap.
And then that beautiful line, slowly, her words became her wings.
Such a powerful image. Captures that feeling of freedom, empowerment that language can bring, moving from being stuck to being liberated.
The audience is hooked. And then her main lesson.
You don't need to speak like a native. You just need to speak like yourself. And when you speak with heart, people listen.
That is such a liberating message for learners everywhere. It takes off so much pressure about achieving some impossible ideal.
Exactly. It shifts the focus to authentic self-expression. Clear communication, genuine feeling are more important than perfect grammar or accent. It's incredibly empowering.
The silence afterwards, then the applause, the positive reactions from her teacher, classmates, it must have felt amazing.
A real moment of triumph. Validation for her courage, her message, and her mom's pride in the audience adds that deep personal element.
The chapter ends with her journal entry, feeling proud, but also getting an idea to help others.
Which leads to her first English video blog. Day 1, speak with me, practice English easily.
The start of a whole new phase, moving from learner to also becoming a teacher, sharing her insights. Amazing how one step leads to so much more.
Absolutely. Okay, chapter 5. New Horizons, Emma's English adventure goes global. Her video channel starts taking off. Comments from all over the world.
Wow, that must have felt incredibly validating.
Definitely. The global reach shows how universal the learning experience is and the power of online platforms to connect people. The feedback confirms her message is resonating worldwide.
And the comments themselves give me hope. I finally spoke to my coworker. I joined an English club, show the real impact she's having.
It's tangible change. Her journey and practical advice are inspiring others to take action, overcome their own fears. It's a ripple effect.
Then she gets invited for an interview. Global Learners Live.
A big step up. Moving from her own channel to a more established platform, wider exposure.
Reaching potentially a much larger audience, solidifying her voice in the language learning space. Her nervousness before the interview is relatable, but there's a shift, isn't there? She kind of welcomes the nerves.
Yes. Sees them as a sign she's growing, stepping outside her comfort zone. That's a significant mindset change. Reframing anxiety as a sign of progress. More proactive.
Before the interview, she makes that special video, My English Journey, and yours too, shares her 5 key tips.
And it becomes her most popular video. Shows how much people crave that relatable, actionable advice from someone who's been there. Her authenticity makes it trustworthy.
During the interview itself, her answer about overcoming fear, your voice is waiting, be brave for 1 minute, speak, and then speak again. Every sentence is a step. Just perfectly put.
It really captures her core idea. Break it down into small steps, take the first leap, build momentum, encouraging and empowering.
And she has future goals now. Travel, a global speaking club, maybe even a book.
Shows her growing ambition, her desire to expand her impact, build a bigger support network for learners. It's not just about her own skills anymore.
And then, wow, an invitation from a nonprofit in India to be a guest speaker for their free English programs.
Amazing, isn't it? Her online work leading to real-world opportunities to make a difference globally, connecting with learners in a totally different context.
The video call with the students in India and that inspiring message from Anaya, it clearly hits Emma emotionally.
That human connection. It reinforces her purpose profoundly. Seeing the direct impact on learners is incredibly motivating.
And this experience cements her commitment. She decides to start her own free weekly online meeting.
Emma's English Circle, focused on being slow, clear, and fun. Scaling up her original online group idea, but keeping it accessible and supportive.
Democratizing access to practice, building community.
Exactly. Creating a space where learners feel less anxious, more encouraged to participate, whatever their level.
And adding subtitles, sharing other learners' stories, inviting them as co-hosts. That makes it feel really collaborative.
Those inclusive practices are vital. Empowers learners, gives them a platform, values their contributions, creates relatable role models, fosters collective progress.
The chapter ends with her updating her goal. Help the world speak confidently. That's a huge mission statement.
It reflects her evolved vision, her dedication to empowering others through language, her personal journey blossoming into this global movement.
Incredible. Okay. Chapter 6. From learner to leader, Emma's English dream comes true. A year has passed since her first video. The numbers are amazing.
Over 100,000 YouTube subscribers, English Circle members from over 25 countries.
And now an invitation to speak at Voices Without Borders in London, a major international conference.
It's a staggering leap. A testament to her dedication, her approach, the connection she's built. Major recognition of her impact. Elevates her to a recognized thought leader.
Her reaction reading the invitation 5 times shows the magnitude of it. Maybe a bit of disbelief.
Understandable. But quickly followed by that strong sense of purpose. She sees the potential of this platform to share her message even more widely. It's bigger than just her now.
And it's her first trip outside her country. Those little things she packs, her notebook, notes, her brother's charm bracelet.
Touching details, right. Emotional anchors, reminders of her roots, her support system, grounding her amidst this huge event.
At the conference hall, banners, people actually recognizing her, sharing how her videos helped them.
That must have been incredibly validating. Real-world proof of her online impact, turning online connections into real relationships.
Her speech, emphasizing her past belief that English was only for certain people.
And her realization that it belongs to anyone who wants to speak it. Such an inclusive message. Breaking down perceived barriers.
Democratizing language learning.
Exactly. Empowering everyone to believe in their potential.
And her key lesson again. Fluency is not about how many words you know. It's about how brave you are to use the words you do know.
Still so relevant. Reframing fluency around active, courageous communication, not passive knowledge. A call to action. Use what you have. Connect genuinely. Forget perfection.
The soft claps swelling to a standing ovation. Her emotional response must have been overwhelming.
A huge moment of recognition, and then being invited onto a global language panel.
With educators, authors, ambassadors, that's a real transition from learner and community builder to recognized expert.
Absolutely. Acknowledging her innovative approach and its impact, placing her alongside established figures.
And that message from her very first online group, saying how proud they are, in her encouraging reply.
Beautiful full circle moment. Shows the importance of that initial community, that peer support throughout the whole journey. Testament to the bonds they formed.
The chapter ends with her by the River Thames, reflecting. Realizing she's not chasing English anymore, she's living it. Understanding her new role as a leader, a fitting end to this stage. Her personal dream becoming a global reality, a commitment. Okay, chapter 7. The spark grows. Emma empowers a new generation. She's getting messages now from students inspired by her.
Starting their own English clubs, speaking up in class. That ripple effect is powerful.
It really shows the impact of positive role modeling. Her journey is igniting sparks in others, encouraging them to take initiative, overcome shyness.
Even that story about the father in Mexico learning with his son using her videos.
Shows the broad appeal, the adaptability, reaching different ages, contexts, fostering connections even within families.
Emma realizes she's awakening voices. Beautiful phrase.
It is. But then a new challenge emerges, how to help learners facing different obstacles.
Like shyness, poor internet, busy schedules.
Her dedication to inclusivity shines through here. She wants to make learning accessible to everyone, understanding not all have the same advantages.
Which leads her to a new mission: create a mobile app.
Speak Spark, light up your English. Great name.
So positive. What are the advantages of using apps for language learning, especially for people facing those barriers?
Well, apps offer huge accessibility and flexibility. Many can be used offline, great for spotty internet. They fit into busy lives, short practice bursts anytime. And they can personalize learning, which helps shy learners practice privately.
Makes sense. Speak Spark. Yeah, it captures that idea of igniting passion.
Right.
And she reaches out online for developers, forms this international team.
A truly collaborative global effort reflects the reach and spirit of her whole movement, using online connections to build something valuable together.
The building process itself sounds very learner-centered. Her voice notes incorporating real learner messages.
Crucial. Ensures the app isn't just tech, but an extension of her supportive teaching style. Makes it feel more human, connected.
The launch is a huge success. Downloads in over 40 countries in the first week.
Incredible. And the positive feedback-friendly interface, her encouraging voice confirms she translated the essence of her approach successfully into this digital format.
That whisper practice feature sounds particularly clever.
Very thoughtful. Addresses the need for low-pressure practice for shy learners or those in quiet environments. Builds confidence without fear of being overheard.
But the emphasis remains. It's about connection, not just tech.
Absolutely. Technology as a tool for human connection and learning, not a replacement. Keeps the human element central.
And Emma's letters within the app remain popular. Shows people still want that personal touch, her mentorship.
Exactly. Maintaining that human connection, even in a digital space, is key to her success.
Her invitations to speak at schools, summits increase, solidifying her role as a leader.
Acknowledging her expertise, the impact of her work, giving her bigger platforms.
And that story about the refugee school in Poland using the app? So moving.
Powerfully illustrates the potential of accessible tools to empower marginalized communities, providing connection, opportunity in tough circumstances, real-world impact.
The chapter ends with her seeing a message from someone wanting to be an English teacher like her.
Wow. The realization that the dream is growing, multiplying. It's not just about learning anymore, but inspiring the next wave of educators. Her spark has truly ignited a generation.
Amazing. Okay, Chapter 8. Camp of Dreams, where stories come alive. An invitation to lead a global storytelling English camp in Finland.
Sounds incredible. A chance for immersive in-person connection with young learners from all over, expanding her work into a new dimension.
Her excitement and detailed prep show her passion for connecting personally, making learning engaging and meaningful.
Her thoughtfulness in planning activities, considering the diverse group, shows her commitment to making it a truly positive experience.
And what a diverse group. Kids from 12 countries, varying English levels. How do you even manage that effectively?
It requires a very inclusive, adaptable approach. Her focus on story as a common language is brilliant, creates a shared foundation beyond proficiency levels. Using visuals, gestures, collaboration helps bridge gaps, ensures everyone feels included.
Right, shifting focus from linguistic perfection to narrative.
Exactly. It lowers the pressure, fosters belonging, encourages even beginners to share.
Those fun warm-up activities each morning sound great for building camaraderie, relaxing the atmosphere.
Crucial for creating a positive group dynamic, reducing anxiety, makes learning feel like a shared adventure, not a formal lesson.
And her use of games, drawing, music, puppets, making it multisensory and engaging.
Highly effective, especially for kids. Caters to different learning styles, brings language alive, makes it more memorable and fun, reduces inhibitions.
We hear about Lena's rainbow dog story, Samuel's flying shoe, shows how storytelling unlocks creativity, even in a new language.
Lets them personalize their learning, communicate unique ideas. Even with limited words, imagination takes flight.
The focus on Aiko from Japan is quite moving. Her shyness, her drawing.
Highlights how art can be a bridge to verbal expression. Allows kids to communicate non-verbally first, express emotions.
And then her story about Momo and the listening stars. Emma's emotional reaction.
Shows how even simple language connects us deeply. The power of narrative to foster empathy, understanding, transcends just words.
And Aiku grows more confident through the camp, shows the power of being heard, valued in that supportive space.
Feeling heard, regardless of perfect grammar, is incredibly empowering. Boosts self-esteem, encourages participation.
The final night, sharing stories under the stars, sounds magical. Builds that sense of community.
And Emma sharing her own story about being afraid to speak. Powerful vulnerability, connection, makes her relatable, her success seem attainable.
The kids' heartfelt farewells, promising to keep speaking, shows the lasting impact. Instilled not just skills, but confidence and a love for the language.
Suggests the camp planted a seed for continued learning and communication.
The chapter ends with Emma's journal entry. Stories break silence, build bridges. Her commitment to helping others find their voice. For her, it's always about connection, empathy, empowerment.
Language learning intertwined with being human. Okay, Chapter 9. The Global Circle students become teachers. Emma's inspired by the camp kids.
Yeah, they want to keep practicing, even teach others, which sparks a new idea for her.
The campers' enthusiasm, wanting to share knowledge, shows the empowering impact of the camp. She didn't just teach English. She ignited passion.
So she creates the Fluent Circle, a learner-led English school.
Motto: we speak, we share, we grow together. A radical shift towards peer-to-peer, community-driven learning.
What are the benefits of that learner-led approach versus traditional teaching?
Huge benefits. Greater ownership for learners, less intimidating, more supportive environment, encouraging participation. Peer teaching deepens understanding for both teacher and learner. Plus, it builds collaboration skills.
The core is these online speaking rooms. Informal practice, no formal lessons.
Just a safe space for conversation. Why is that unstructured practice so key for fluency?
Because it mimics real life. Conversations aren't scripted. These rooms allow experimentation, making mistakes without fear, developing the spontaneity needed for natural chat, moving beyond controlled exercises.
Makes sense.
And the teach one, learn one concept is brilliant. Simple, reciprocal, empowers everyone.
If even beginners feel they can contribute, creates a cycle of mutual learning. And that mnemonic, big elephants can always understand small elephants for because.
Memorable and fun. How effective are those kinds of strategies?
Peer teaching forces deeper understanding. Mnemonics create memorable associations, aiding recall. Making it fun boosts retention and motivation significantly.
Other features too. Daily story circle, accent adventure,
Accepting different accents, yeah.
and the fear-free zone, all contributing to a supportive, inclusive environment, addressing common anxieties.
Thoughtfully designed features, regular practice, acceptance of diversity, safety to take risks, fostering a holistic, encouraging experience.
And the Fluent Circle grows rapidly. Members from over 70 countries, shows the demand for this community-driven approach.
Demonstrates the appeal of peer learning, the desire for connection and support in language acquisition. Many clearly want alternatives to formal classrooms.
The examples of cross-cultural learning, mutual support within the circle, really bring it to life.
Illustrates the richness of learning in a diverse community, enhances language skills, broadens perspectives, fosters empathy, makes it more meaningful.
Emma listening in quietly, realizing they've become each other's teachers. Powerful moment.
That's when she knows it's truly working. The community is self-empowered, self-sustaining. A shift from her being the driver to fostering an ecosystem of peer growth.
Then she decides to write a book, Find Your English Voice, My Journey from Silence to Stories, focusing on the emotional side.
Those chapter titles, Your Accent is a Map of Your Journey. Say it wrong, but say it anyway. Shows her holistic approach, understanding the psychological factors, sharing her insights more widely,
And starts a podcast featuring members' voices and stories.
amplifying their journeys, sharing successes, building more community spirit, celebrating the members themselves.
And other language circles are starting up based on her model.
Shows the impact, the influence. Her approach is resonating, potentially transforming learning more broadly, fostering a movement.
Even that little boy wanting to start a circle for really young kids.
Heartwarming. Shows her vision inspiring all ages to become active participants, facilitators, igniting passion for learning and teaching.
The chapter ends with Emma in her garden, reflecting, realizing the impact, creating countless confident voices. Understanding fluency is about speaking from the heart.
A beautiful conclusion to this stage, underscoring the human-centered approach that defines her work, her dream becoming a global reality. Okay, Chapter 10, A Voice at the United Nations, an invitation to speak at the UN Global Language and Education Forum.
Monumental, a huge honor, recognizing her global impact.
The highest level of recognition. From shy learner to addressing global leaders at the UN, positions her as a leading voice on language education's role in understanding, cooperation, peace. Extraordinary.
The significance, someone who feared speaking English, now addressing world leaders. It powerfully shows the potential of her journey, her work.
Her story is an incredible example of personal transformation, leveraging experience to make a significant global impact, a message of hope to learners everywhere.
And she feels she's speaking not just for herself, but for all learners who felt afraid. Adds such purpose.
Shows her deep empathy, her commitment to advocating for a more inclusive, supportive approach globally, elevates her story to a universal message.
Her preparation, focusing on a story, not a formal presentation, shows her continued belief in narrative's power to connect, even at the UN.
Demonstrates her understanding of human connection, the effectiveness of narrative for influence. Connecting emotionally makes the message more memorable, impactful.
Introducing Mira, the 6-year-old from Ukraine in the Fluent Circle, and sharing her simple story about the bird afraid to sing who finds its voice.
Brilliant choice. Poignant. A universal metaphor for learning challenges and triumphs. Easily understood, deeply resonant, connects on a human level, transcends barriers.
And Emma sharing it in slow, clear, heartfelt English emphasizes accessible communication, the power of genuine emotion.
Speaking slowly ensures understanding. Heartfelt delivery conveys sincerity, shows effective communication is about authentic connection, not just perfection.
The silence after, then the soft claps building to a standing ovation, speaks volumes about the impact. It clearly resonated deeply.
Signifies profound impact, universal resonance, silence for reflection, ovation for emotional connection, recognition of the message's importance, transcending politics, culture.
Her key message: we don't need more tests. We need more trust. Trust in people's stories, trust in their voices. Powerful critique of assessment-heavy methods.
A passionate call for a more humanistic, learner-centered approach, valuing individual expression, narrative, challenges the overemphasis on testing, advocates for trust, empathy, a call for a paradigm shift.
Being invited to join the Language and Peace Committee, significant recognition of her potential to contribute globally.
A major step. Gives her a platform to influence policy, promote understanding and peace internationally. Acknowledges her expertise, her impact.
The video message from Mira, wanting to help other birds sing, and Emma's reply reinforces that cycle of empowerment.
Beautifully illustrates the impact of mentorship, the desire of young learners to facilitate too. Empowerment isn't just individual, it's about community thriving.
The chapter ends with Emma's reply to Mira, her promise to always help others begin, and that final line of her speech. Language is not just about words, it's about courage.
Powerful. Fitting end to this pivotal moment, solidifies her role as a global advocate for courageous communication. Her journey from silence to voice now champions others on the world stage. Okay, Chapter 11. Passing the torch, training new leaders. Back home from the UN, Emma feels this new responsibility.
Yeah, the Fluent Circle movement is growing, and she realizes she needs to empower others to lead to sustain it.
A crucial transition. Recognizing growth depends on more than just her. Focusing on distributed leadership, empowering others to expand the reach.
Her first training camp for new leaders, diverse backgrounds, nerves, mirrors her own early days, shows her empathy.
Her personal experience lets her create a supportive training environment, attuned to the anxieties of stepping into leadership, especially around language.
Her core message to them: believe in the power of stories, underscores the central role of narrative in the Fluent Circle approach.
Equips them with the fundamental tool for connecting, fostering empathy, making learning meaningful, storytelling as relationship building.
The training focuses on creating safe spaces, kind listening, reframing mistakes as growth opportunities, passing on those core values.
Essential for replicating the supportive ethos. Ensures they cultivate similar, encouraging, growth-oriented atmospheres in their own groups, fostering safety and trust.
And when the new leaders share their own English learning stories, powerful moment, shared vulnerability, connection, leading by example.
Fosters relatability, authenticity. Future learners see leaders face challenges too. Builds trust, makes the environment feel safer.
Emma telling them, your stories will light the way for others, empowers them to see the value in their own journeys as inspiration.
Instills confidence, purpose. Reframes their struggles as assets to guide others. Shifting perspective from facilitating to guiding through lived experience.
As these new leaders start their own fluent circles, the movement expands exponentially. Localized pockets of practice, connected by shared values.
Significant scaling of impact. A decentralized network allows the message to reach wider audiences, adapt to local contexts.
The positive messages Emma gets from them about their first meetings validates the training, the eagerness for this approach.
Strong confirmation of the training's success highlights the readiness of others to embrace the principles, the positive impact these new communities are having, shows the model's appeal.
Emma's vision for circles everywhere, prioritizing connection, courage, community over tests, reiterates the core values driving it all.
Reaffirms the commitment to a holistic, humanistic approach. Prioritizing these elements ensures the focus remains on fostering a supportive, empowering environment where learners thrive.
The chapter ends with her message to the leaders. You are not just teachers. You are gardeners of voices. Plant kindness, water courage, watch confidence bloom.
Beautiful metaphor. Captures their role in nurturing growth, confidence. Her focus shifts from being the main voice to empowering countless others to cultivate and share their own. Okay, chapter 12. The challenge that united us. An unexpected hurdle.
Yeah, skepticism from a local community about the usefulness of learning English. Some want to stop the local fluent circle meetings.
A moment of adversity. Shows even positive initiatives can face resistance. Highlights the need to demonstrate value, build local buy-in.
That opposition is a real threat. Underscores the importance of community support for sustainability.
Shows the need for Fluent Circle to communicate its value effectively, address misconceptions. Proactive community engagement is crucial.
Emma's response is quick, proactive, sees it as an opportunity, not a setback. Resilient, solution-oriented leadership.
Exemplifies a growth mindset. Challenges as opportunities for learning, strengthening, seeking to demonstrate value, not just defend. Effective leadership.
She immediately calls a global meeting of leaders to brainstorm solutions. Highlights the unity, collaborative spirit of the community.
Leveraging the network's power, collective wisdom, diverse experiences generating creative solutions to support the local chapter. Strength in unity.
The leaders' ideas inviting skeptics to open meetings, organizing language and culture festivals, brilliant. Show real understanding of connection.
Strategies focused on direct engagement, experiential learning, letting people see the benefits firsthand, the welcoming environment, addressing skepticism through positive experience.
The Celebrate Voices event they organize has a hugely positive impact. Changes perceptions. Shows the power of proactive outreach.
Underscores the effectiveness of community engagement. Shared positive experiences in overcoming skepticism, building support, demonstrates they can address concerns, build stronger ties.
The realization. Fluent Circle isn't just about English, it's about building trust, relationships in the community. Important insight.
Highlights the holistic approach. Language learning intertwined with trust, social connections, supportive community. That focus on relationships differentiates it.
The positive messages from local leaders about successful events change attitudes, validates the collaborative strategies, the movement's resilience.
Shows proactive engagement works, the power of positive experiences, highlights the adaptability, resilience, commitment of leaders to find solutions.
The chapter ends with Emma's message. Remember, every voice matters. Every story is a step forward. We don't just learn English, we learn to believe.
Beautiful reminder of the core values, the deeper purpose. Empowering individuals, fostering belonging, self-belief. Her leadership through this challenge showcases her vision, the community's strength. Okay, chapter 13. The International Summit and a Promise for the Future. Another big invitation. Emma and several leaders to speak at an international education summit.
Further global recognition and influence provides an even larger platform to share their innovative approach.
Signifies further validation, potential to impact education globally.
Emma, reflecting on her own journey, struggling learner to respected global speaker, underscores the transformative potential, inspiring narrative.
Her personal story is compelling testament to the methods, offers hope, makes her insights credible, inspiring.
Emma on stage with 5 leaders from different countries. Powerful visual of the global reach, diversity, collaboration, tangible representation of the community.
Inclusion of diverse voices reinforces commitment to inclusivity, shows adaptability across cultures, showcases collective strength, shared vision.
Her opening message: language is more than grammar, it's about connection, hope. Sets the tone for a human-centered discussion.
Challenges the academic focus, highlights social, emotional dimensions, reframes learning as relational, empowering.
The leader sharing stories using music, reading clubs, connecting with family abroad. Concrete, heartwarming examples of English integrated into life meaningfully.
Illustrates practical applications, personal significance, makes learning relatable, motivating by showing real human connections. Enrichment.
Emma's core message: language belongs to everyone. It is a right, not a privilege. We must create spaces where all voices can be heard without fear. Powerful call for equity, access, inclusivity.
Advocates for a more just, accessible approach. Challenges elitism. Emphasizes right to develop communication skills supportively. Call for democratized, humanistic policy and practice.
Them collaborating to draft a formal promise for accessible, welcoming learning opportunities worldwide shows concrete commitment to action, shaping a positive future.
Collective drafting underscores shared vision, commitment to promoting inclusive, equitable, learner-centered education globally. Tangible step towards translating philosophy into principles.
Enthusiastic audience response, meetings with international leaders offering support, indicates growing global recognition, validation of their approach.
Suggests growing global interest, willingness to adopt the model. Potential shift toward learner-centered, community-driven approaches in the field.
Chapter ends with Emma's hopeful reflection on the flight home journal entry. Together we speak, together we rise. Inspiring message of collective empowerment.
Continued upward trajectory. Her journey shaping a more inclusive future for learners worldwide.
Okay, Chapter 14. Launching the global Fluent Circle platform. Emma's excited, nervous. Launching the official online platform. Big step.
Represents scaling the vision, creating a central digital home for the global community, solidifying their online presence.
Designed as that digital home, emphasizes the community spirit at the heart of her approach. A virtual gathering place.
Fostering stronger belonging, enabling connection regardless of location or time zone, extending community globally.
Immediate positive feedback, messages from around the world, validates the need, the desire for accessible, community-driven platforms.
Confirms she tapped into a real need, created a platform that resonates with learners seeking connection, support, effective tools.
Key features listed: live chat, story library, forums, challenges, comprehensive range of tools supporting learners at all stages.
Diverse opportunities for practice, engagement, interaction, caters to different styles, rich, well-rounded experience beyond passive content. Emma hosting the first online event. Her welcoming message, learning is a journey, not a race, reinforces the supportive, non-competitive ethos.
Setting a positive, encouraging tone. Creates welcoming, low-pressure environment celebrating individual progress, reinforces commitment to inclusivity.
That anecdote of a learner sharing their breakthrough during the first event. Powerful early testament to the platform's potential. Immediate validation of its effectiveness in empowering learners, helping them overcome anxieties, achieve tangible improvements. early sign of positive change. Emphasizing the platform breaking down geographical barriers, transcending time zones, highlights potential for truly global connection, fostering cross-cultural exchange, creates unprecedented opportunities for interaction with diverse individuals, enriches learning, fosters understanding, builds global network.
Chapter concludes with Emma's gratitude, her feeling, this is just the beginning, reflects her vision, optimism, belief in empowering more learners.
Significant expansion of reach, establishing a lasting digital home for this remarkable global community. Okay, Chapter 15. The Platform Crisis and the Power of Community. Unexpected twist. Sudden platform outage. Server overload.
Oof. Technical difficulties after a successful launch can be really disheartening.
A stark reminder of tech vulnerabilities. Underscores the importance of a resilient community that stays connected even when infrastructure fails.
Emma's worry about losing momentum, users, shows her deep commitment, her sense of responsibility towards the community.
Reflects her understanding of the impact. For her, it's more than tech. It's a vital space for interaction support.
But then the community response, supportive messages, patience, emphasizing Fluent Circle is more than the platform, shows the strong bonds she's fostered.
Beautifully demonstrates the belonging, shared identity. Platform is a tool, but the movement's strength lies in the human relationships, shared purpose. Transcends technology.
Emma's quick, reassuring message back acknowledges the issue, commits to fixing it, reinforces her leadership, dedication during the challenge.
Swift, transparent communication is crucial. Maintains trust, unity, mitigates frustration, emphasizes the enduring spirit, effective leadership.
Local leaders stepping up, organizing offline gatherings. Wonderful initiative. Shows adaptability, resilience, ownership within the network.
Inspiring. Demonstrates the network's strength, resourcefulness, commitment to ensuring learning, connection continue even without the digital platform. Testament to the self-sustaining movement.
The realization. True strength is the community, not just the tech. Powerful takeaway. Brings home the human-centered approach.
Reaffirms fundamental values. Importance of connection, support, purpose. Technology facilitates, but the heart is the people, their commitment.
Platform restored after 2 days. Relief. And the live event celebrating its return, members sharing life-changing stories, strengthens community bonds.
Turns a crisis into a bonding experience. Underscores appreciation for the digital space, but more importantly, reinforces the profound positive impact Fluent Circle has had, strengthening community purpose.
Chapter ends with Emma reflecting. Deeper understanding of community, kindness in overcoming obstacles, renewed promise to keep building.
Solidified core values, underscored the power of human connection through challenges. Okay, Chapter 16. The Global Storytelling Festival, Voices Across the World. Emma's Dream. A festival.
Fantastic way to celebrate their shared journey, the diverse voices.
Creative, engaging platform for members worldwide to showcase skills, share cultures, experiences, connect through narrative.
The purpose, sharing stories, cultures, dreams in English, aligns perfectly with her vision of language for connection, understanding, celebrating diversity.
Centering on storytelling emphasizes communication, expression, encourages moving beyond accuracy to using English meaningfully, sharing authentically.
Diverse entries from everywhere, emphasizing expression and courage over perfect English, highlights the inclusive, supportive nature of the community.
Focus on expression. Courage embodies the ethos. Embrace mistakes, prioritize authentic communication, encourages participation, celebrates vulnerability.
Emma, watching submissions, setting up live sessions, shows her deep personal engagement, dedication to fostering connections.
Active involvement showcases commitment to nurturing the community, providing engaging opportunities for members to connect, share, build confidence.
Her message during the finale, use language to share who we truly are, reinforces learning is about expressing identity, connecting deeply.
Underscores personal, cultural dimensions. Language for self-expression, building understanding, sharing unique perspectives globally.
The winner, a shy girl from Vietnam overcoming fear to share her story. Powerful outcome, embodies the fluent circle spirit.
Tangible example of the transformative impact. Helping learners overcome anxiety, find their voice, share perspectives. Testament to the supportive environment.
The festival becomes a movement, proving English here is a language of hearts, connection, not just rules.
Encapsulates her philosophy, impact. English as a vehicle for genuine connection, empathy, sharing stories. Transcending linguistic competence for focusing on heartfelt communication.
Chapter ends with her words. Keep speaking, keep dreaming. Together we make the world smaller and kinder. Uplifting, hopeful message.
Resonates with core values. Power of language to connect, create a more compassionate world. Festival clearly a success in bringing community closer, celebrating their journey. Okay, chapter 17. Emma's personal challenge, finding strength in vulnerability. Emma's achieved so much, supported others, but now faces a personal challenge.
Her grandmother's serious illness, a deeply human moment.
Important reminder, even inspirational figures face struggles, vulnerabilities, universality of human experience.
Her fear, sadness, making it hard to keep up her practice, engagement, shows how personal challenges impact routines, passions.
Illustrates the link between emotional well-being and learning capacity. Stress, grief affect cognitive processes, motivation, focus.
Recalling her grandmother's advice about courage continuing despite fear gives her strength, reminds her of core values, enduring impact of loved ones' wisdom.
Underscores importance of drawing on personal values, past experiences, wisdom for resilience. Internal resources provide comfort, guidance.
Her brave decision to be honest with her community about her vulnerability, significant step, opens the door for support, empathy, deepens connection.
Demonstrates authentic leadership. Fosters deeper trust, connection. Reminds members it's a supportive network where vulnerability is okay. Humanizes her.
The supportive, compassionate response she receives highlights the empathy, care cultivated in this global network. Truly a community.
Underscores strong bonds. Shows power of creating a learning environment, encompassing genuine human connection, mutual support through life's challenges.
Her realization, vulnerability isn't weakness, but strength fostering deeper connection, mutual support, profound insight.
Challenges traditional notions of strength. Highlights empowering nature of vulnerability and building authentic relationships. Understanding. True connection through sharing authentic selves, including struggles.
She gradually finds her voice again, using English to express feelings, process emotions, shows deep integration of language into her emotional life.
Demonstrates fluency beyond technical skills. Profound emotional connection. Language as natural means of expressing inner thoughts, feelings, even during distress.
Chapter ends with her understanding. True fluency includes courage, connection, speaking from the heart, back to core values.
Personal challenge deepened her understanding of self, community, connection through language. Okay, chapter 18. Giving back Emma's charity event for English learners. Driven by lessons learned, support received, she wants to give back.
Extend opportunities to those facing greater obstacles.
Commendable progression. Having experienced transformation, community strength, feels purpose in extending opportunities to those facing barriers.
Enthusiastic response from members, volunteers for Speak and Share event, highlights shared purpose, commitment to community.
Overwhelming willingness shows alignment with values of generosity, support, spirit of giving back deeply ingrained in the ethos.
Event activities.
Yeah.
Workshops, storytelling, computer access, practical, multifaceted approach to supporting underprivileged learners.
Thoughtful, comprehensive, addresses different needs. Direct instruction, practice, access to resources for continued learning.
Touching story of Sophia, finding hope, confidence after the event, underscores tangible, personal impact of community support in inspiring, opening possibilities.
Concrete example of positive impact. Hope, empowerment through accessible learning, supportive community. Validates the mission.
Emma's reflection on impact of kindness, community strength, reinforces central values driving her work, the movement's success, always more than just language.
Reaffirms importance of empathy, compassion, social support in creating positive change, fostering inclusive learning, true success in lifting others, creating opportunities.
Chapter concludes with her reflection, Fluent Circle is where learning meets compassion. Her words about rising together encapsulates heart of mission, collective spirit.
Powerful demonstration of commitment to accessibility, using her platform for lasting good. Okay, Chapter 19. Exploring new technologies, Emma's vision for the future. Emma's continued drive, exploring new tech, shows forward-thinking approach.
Commitment to finding innovative ways to enhance the learning experience.
Proactive engagement reflects a commitment to continuous improvement, leveraging advancements for more effective, engaging, accessible learning, not resting on laurels.
Discovering tools like speech recognition, VR experiences, AI tutors highlights exciting potential to personalize, enhance language learning.
Offer possibilities for interactive, immersive, adaptive experiences, immediate feedback, realistic practice, personalized guidance, addresses limitations of traditional methods.
Her vision, seamlessly integrate these tools to create a more joyful learning experience, aligns with philosophy of making acquisition engaging, fun.
Focus on joyful shows understanding that motivation and engagement are key drivers. Thoughtful tech integration enhances enjoyment, reduces frustration, creates positive, sustainable journey.
Collaborating with tech experts, developing ideas, VR meetups, interactive games, personalized AI feedback, thoughtful, practical integration strategy.
Illustrates how tech can be strategically used for interactive, personalized, accessible opportunities within the supportive community. Leveraging tech to enhance human connection, facilitate learning.
Positive community feedback about these integrations shows members are open, excited about innovative methods enhancing their journeys.
Suggests tech integration aligns with needs, preferences. Enthusiastic about potential for more engaging, effective, convenient learning, strengthens commitment.
Crucial emphasis. Technology is a tool. Core strength is community, learner courage. Reinforces human-centered approach. Tech enhances, not replaces, values.
Reiterates understanding. Tech facilitates, but human elements, interaction, support, motivation, effort within community drive success. Tech is supplement. Heart is people.
Chapter ends with ongoing evolution, Emma's commitment to innovation, building brighter future, continuous drive to explore, expand impact.
Willingness to embrace tech while staying true to core values positions her at forefront of innovative language education. Okay, final chapter, Chapter 20. Emma's reflection, a journey of heart and words. Emma takes a quiet moment. Reflection.
Looking back at the incredible journey, introspection, synthesis.
Chance to consolidate experiences, reflect on growth, articulate core lessons. Sense of closure while hinting at ongoing impact.
Her realization. Learning English wasn't just skills, it was connection, courage, stories. Beautiful summary of the key themes. Profound conclusion.
Underscores holistic nature of language learning. Skills plus personal growth, social interaction, empowering active sharing narrative. Transformative power on multiple levels.
Her final message to the community. Believe in yourself, embrace truth, pursue dreams. See English as a key unlocking possibilities, inspiring call to action.
Encapsulates core values. Belief in language's power to open horizons, foster growth, connect globally. Encouraging call for learners to embrace potential.
She reflects on the community, feeling they created something beautiful together. Underscores collaborative spirit at the heart of Fluent Circle.
Emphasizes shared ownership, collective achievement in creating supportive, impactful environment. Power of individuals uniting for common purpose.
The chapter, her story here, concludes with her quiet reflections. Speaking with courage, learning with joy, living her story, looking forward to future adventures.
Lovely sense of closure, yet hints at evolution. Fitting end, reminding us language learning is personal yet connective, leading to unexpected journeys.
Emma's incredible journey, shy learner to global leader, truly remarkable. We saw how embracing mistakes, finding community, living the language, speaking from the heart were all crucial.
Her story is more than language. It's finding your voice, connecting meaningfully.
What stands out is the power of that learner-centered approach, the importance of a supportive, non-judgmental community where vulnerability is okay.
And that mindset shift. Mistakes aren't failures, they're essential stepping stones. Fluency isn't a destination, but an ongoing adventure, fueled by courage, connection, sharing your voice.
So for you listening, reflect on Emma's story. What small step will you take today to embrace the adventure of learning, to connect with English in a new way?
Could you change your phone settings like Emma did? Try talking to yourself, even if it feels odd. Or maybe seek out an online community.
Just as Emma turned everyday moments into learning and found strength in community, your journey starts with that first courageous step.